Hello there, and welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans.
And those of us who are forced to listen to them.
Today is someday, and someday us real-life gay dads are talking gay space dads.
Wait, what?
That's right, get ready. It's time to drink up.
Drink up.
Hello there, Pop Pop.
Hello there, Pop Pop.
How are you?
I'm better than I deserve.
Are you? Why is that?
I don't know. That's what Dave Ramsey always says.
Okay, Dave. Well, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Today, you and I get to talk some Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
It's back.
Finally, we've been waiting for it. God knows we've been talking about it for a while.
We sure have, and I believe it was worth the wait. This is really the first time I get to sit and chit-chat with you about it because we've been trying to wait. Right after we watch it, I go to a live stream on YouTube to talk about it on Pink Milk After Dark with Emma and Mark. And you and I are about to have our conversation live right here on the microphone.
I'm number two. Or three. No, 4.
You're number 4.
10? No.
Number 4
Number
after the
4.
children. But you're my number 1 in my heart.
What about the dog?
She's number 5. You do have her.
Hey,
I know.
Roxy.
I don't think I stack in front of her in your watch, but
Yeah, no, she doesn't know you're here.
oh, well, I'm very, very excited. So let's get our little housekeeping, some people call it, out of the way.
Yeah, let's do that.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at servingpinkmilk. Make sure you watch us on YouTube, live stream Friday nights, midnight Eastern Standard. Oh no, it's now the daylight savings has come, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on Pink Milk Podcast on YouTube, where we live stream reviews of The Mandalorian with Emma and Mark from the roundtables. Make sure you visit us on Apple Podcasts and give us a written review and a 5-star review and a written review like this one that Tom's just about to read, because it sure does make us feel good. He's got to get his readers
Let me get
on.
my glasses on.
He's got to get his readers on. Thank you. This is from Ben.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. When I last checked, there are around 30 million Star Wars podcasts currently available to fans. So, you may wonder, why should I choose Pink Milk for my weekly nerd podcast fix? I'm so glad you asked, stranger. Every episode on Pink Milk, hosts and husbands Bryan and Tom bring you fresh, vibrant, much-needed conversations to the Star Wars fandom from an LGBTQ plus perspective. Simultaneously hilarious and heartfelt, you're guaranteed to find something entirely new in our favorite galaxy far, far away. From roundtable discussions, interviews, and a new weekly live stream, Pink Milk is setting the new gold standard for what fan-produced content should look like and sound like. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to the feed, share with your friends, and most importantly, drink up.
Drink up.
Oh, man, that was really great. Who is this from?
That was Ben.
Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, sir.
Ben also has a great podcast with our dear friend Ian from the Roundtables.
Cool, we love you.
Along with Maria from Sisters with Sabers. But honestly, thank you, Ben. That was really, really nice. And I'm going to read this.
Thank you.
I'm going to read this tweet that we received today as well, because it was also very, very nice. We had a nice little review from our last live stream saying, hey, thank you for the conversations. It was hilarious. I said thank you. And Rafaela, she's Brazilian, so I don't exactly know how to pronounce their name. But Raficha on Twitter said, you're welcome. But I'm the one who has to say thank you here. You're all doing wonders to the LGBTQI plus Star Wars community with this pod. Thanks for representing us so well.
Hey, thank you.
Who would have thought a little podcast that you and I would have thought 2 or 3 people would have listened to would garner such nice compliments. I'm very excited.
Yes, thank you.
I feel honored.
Absolutely.
Honestly, thank you all the listeners. Thank you for those who are retweeting and sharing our posts. It's helped a lot. We've been growing tremendously, actually. So we appreciate you so much, and I'm glad that we are here to help give a voice to all of us LGBTQ people, especially after this. And honestly, I think The Mandalorian is what started the whole thing, because I, to this day, still think this is a very, very queer-coded show. You can listen to me over on Blue Bantha Milk Company with Raven from Sisters with Sabers on Blue Bantha's YouTube, where we just kind of had a conversation of season 1 of The Mandalorian, and I was representing the LGBTQ folks on this very queer-coded show.
And just in case anybody wants to listen to me, this is the only place you'll find me.
But it's the best place. No offense, Mark and Emma, he is my husband. So you'll hear Tom here on Wednesdays on our morning show. It's more for casual fans like Tom.
Drink up.
But, honestly, like The Mandalorian is really written, I think, for the casual fans. And then there's subtext for us super fans. They're doing a tremendous job. So, Thomas, I have a question for you.
Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah.
So did you realize the other day when we had a meeting with the school, I had forgotten to change my Zoom description, because I had on my Zoom description, casual fan Tom. And as we're speaking to the principal, not that the kids were in trouble, it was just informational about what's going on in this crazy world of education.
Because beating each other up is totally fine. I'm really just kidding.
You're not supposed to tell anybody that. But anyway, yeah. I had casual fan Tom on there, and I was just thinking to myself, what is that lady thinking?
I know, I still had at B_.
I should have put casual parent Tom.
Oh, that wouldn't be good either.
No,
Hi, principal. Here you are talking to me about her children. It really wasn't.
It's not true, so it's easy to play with.
Yeah, it was, and I still had at B_sips_pink_milk. So you can also follow me there on Twitter, because Mark from Pink Milk After Dark is helping me run the Pink Milk. Serving Pink Milk on Twitter, so it's more Mark and myself there. So if you want to follow just me.
And not me.
And not you. No. Nope. Tom is busy raising children while I'm busy tweeting away all day.
And pushing those homes.
Pushing those homes. He's a home pusher. He's a home pusher.
And re-pusher.
All right, so Thomas, I have a question now that The Mandalorian is back. Because I feel like The Mandalorian is kind of the steward of all of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. We just wrapped up the Skywalker saga, I guess close to a year ago now. That seems crazy that was only a year ago, but it's 2020. Do you feel that there is a big difference between the sequel trilogy of films that you saw and The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Okay, can you elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, there's different people, for one. They're two totally different things. I mean, thank God we don't have to hear Skywalker, Death Watch, Death Star. Thank God.
Okay, well,
we hear a little of that.
You hear Death Watch in this.
Yeah, we do hear Death Watch. I meant Death Star, although we do hear about the Death Star falling somewhere, right?
Well, we heard about it in this very episode that we're about to review.
Well, there you go. So I knew I heard it somewhere. But at least we don't, have to see the usual cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, 9 movies later, we can move on. Hey, not that anything's wrong with them. I'm just saying It's nice, as a casual fan, to, see something new. So.
Okay. Well, put a pin in that, because there's something old at the end of this episode. So I'm curious how you're going to feel about that possibility.
Okay.
Do you see any difference, though, in the storytelling type? Like in the way the story is told?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the movies, it's all assumed everybody knows every single thing. And in the Mandalorian, I feel like a lot of the episodes are about nothing. And then they all come together at the end. And when we get to talking about this episode, I'm definitely going to share my thoughts on how I actually thought of that.
Yep.
And then I was reminded of last year. But anyway, all right. We'll talk
no, that's
about
awesome, because that I loved this episode. I think this episode personally was better than anything we got last season. Like, it was so good. but I'm a super nerd, and I'm not sure if casual fans are feeling the same way. So I'm curious about your take.
Well, I have thoughts.
You have thoughts.
I have thoughts. You just let me know when I should share them.
Well, just because I'm curious, like Tom, I love Dave Filoni. I don't think you knew who that person was before we started the podcast, but I know you know the name now.
I definitely do.
And I feel this is a very Dave Filoni show. And I have learned to love The Mandalorian more a year later than I did when I was watching it the first time. And I feel like I think I said this on a live stream with Em and Mark, and I'm curious if you noticed, care, didn't notice, don't agree, or don't care, that the sequel trilogy, I feel, were concerned with making Star Wars movies. The Mandalorian is concerned with telling a story, and it happens to be dressed up in Star Wars.
I could see that.
And I feel like there are two very different takes. One is not necessarily better than the other. The sequel trilogy was very meta. The sequel trilogy was very aware of what was before. And I don't feel The Mandalorian is aware of what was before.
Well, the sequel trilogy to me was always wrapping something up. Mm-hmm. If you think of how all 9 movies were broken down, 333, they were always wrapping something up. Started with the Senate and what was Anakin's mother's name?
Shmi.
No. The
Queen Amidala?
Yeah,
mom?
her.
Okay.
So we didn't know who she was. Then we saw her, and then she's dead at the end. 3. Boom. Movie's gone. Then it started with Star Wars and Darth Vader. So 4 to 6. Okay. Boom. Dead. Gone. All right. Now we go again. We're starting again 7 to 9, and we're just wrapping up the Skywalker saga. So it's very different to me.
Boom. Dead.
Exactly.
And Rebirth. All of it,
dead. All of them.
Oh my God. I love that you just said that.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Sorry. Okay. And then with The Mandalorian, I feel like we are now at the beginning. We're just starting. Here it is. We're a whole season in. We don't know who the child is, but we all call him Baby Yoda. I mean, the kids actually at the playground yesterday, I heard them running around talking about Baby Yoda.
Yep.
And in the back of my head, casual fan Tom is going, "It's the child." It's the child. And I'm like, I didn't, I mean, they're 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But I'm like, it's the child.
So maybe so listeners, we're like literally a week and a half away from being 1 year old. We posted our very, very first episode of the podcast on November 11th, 2019. And now here we are almost at November 11th. I think this episode will go out on Wednesday, which is the 3rd. Mm-hmm. So we're like a week and a half away. It's pretty rad. And maybe you're not so much of a casual fan anymore.
Well, the interesting thing is that what the listeners don't know is we had a backlog because we really started before that. We don't have a backlog now, though. That's for sure. But, we weren't really sure what to do, so we just had a backlog of things when we started. I mean, 2 or 3 episodes we had 5,
I think.
Oh, we did? Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's why it feels like it's been longer than a year, because we really did start maybe 7 weeks before that.
Yeah, and then there was a little practicing and all that, which I've listened to a couple of those first episodes.
We're still practicing.
We all of a sudden had like a bunch of people listen to our very first episode. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's not good.
We have gone back and listened at it. And we didn't subscribe.
No. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that here we are a year later and we're getting messages about LGBTQ representation. We've talked a little bit before, but that was not really the intent of the show. I knew I wanted to talk about Star Wars from a queer perspective because if you weren't aware, I'm queer. And I know that's how I see things. But I don't know if I fully understood at the time the want for a LGBTQ lens, like even from straight people. Like I thought it was going to be the casual fan. And now you're not the star because you're a casual fan. You're a star because you're fantastic.
Yeah, but wasn't I still fantastic when we started this?
You were. You just got a little more fantastic.
A little shinier star.
You've upgraded your best scar.
Well, yeah, no. Trust me, I'm still a casual fan. But at best, as Laura
at best, yes. No, I was like, I love that you said the about Amidala dying, Anakin dying, and now their grandchild and their children dying. Like, I don't I guess, I mean, that's obvious, but I'm not sure if I looked at it that way before.
Well,
Like, before that, it was...
And it's more, so going back to what I said, it's more about, hey, the beginning and wrapping it up in 3 movies a couple of years later. Then we start again wrapping it up in 3. You know, there was always the beginning and an end. And the interesting thing about The Mandalorian, from what I can tell, and again, this is the first time I've really, truly been at the start of any
Star Wars.
Any Star Wars non-movie.
Yeah.
And or so what we call that, TV shows. Okay, so you know we don't have the beginning and the end yet, so it's tough to see.
I mean, you're on the same level with me.
We have the beginning, not the end. Sorry,
you're on the same level with me. I know some stuff about Star Wars, the galaxy around, but I'm getting to know these center stage characters the same time you are. Mm-hmm. So on that level, like, we're the same, and it's cool.
Oh, we are the same.
We are the same. So, Tom, you ready to talk about this episode a little bit?
Yeah, I am. Are you?
I think so.
All right, well,
I think so. Here we go. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about this episode a bit. We're going to take a break, and then we are going to come back and talk about being real-life gay dads. So, come for the Star Wars, go to break, and then stay for the gay.
Stay for the gay.
So we open up on...
Don't go away.
Please stay. I'm going to sing some
today. Wait, are we still on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were having a break.
No.
I was looking forward to a break.
Wow, we just started, Tom. You really are casual. So we open up to some graffiti planet. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure it's on Wikipedia somewhere. I'm not there right now, so I don't know. But we open up on a planet, and we see Mando with baby, and they enter into a fight club, basically, and they're watching a fight to the death, and our season is set up. Mandalorian is on the lookout for more Mandalorians because he is hoping that they can help guide him to Baby Yoda's people, which I'm assuming are the Jedi, not other Baby Yodas. But I feel like, and then it's a very violent opening. Like Mando, you know, the dude.
Yes, it actually was pretty violent.
Like, he was chapter 6 Mandalorian, which was when, in season 1, when the prison thing, when he was with his old crew, and Mando was kind of a badass for the first time in season 1. He was a badass in this moment. And it was interesting because the armor had said this, I think it was chapter 3, right? When he gets his new armor and he's all prettied up and he's out of the closet singing "I'm Coming Out." And she was like, hey, when you're wearing this armor, you're going to be a target now. But that line was kind of dropped because it's Dave Filoni, he's perfect and is a genius. It's brought back up because the Cyclops, played by John Leguizamo, is like, hey, I want your armor. So now season 2, we know Baby Yoda's probably still going to be hunted. We know Moff Top Gideon is out there somewhere, which we did not see him in this episode, but he wants Baby Yoda. So the Empire... the remnants of the Empire are after Baby Yoda somehow, and now Mando himself is going to be hunted. So they're getting attacked. They're going to be getting attacked from all sides in this. So they threaten to take his armor off his dead body. He's like, no, you're not. I'm going to kill all of you. And, you know, we kill a bunch of people. And the main head honcho, John Leguizamo, runs away. And Mando's like, that dude's got my information. Yes, Thomas.
You know, since you brought it up.
Yeah.
I did notice when Mando threw a knife and it actually punctured one of the guards.
Zabrak?
Okay, yep. I thought that was very uncharacteristic of Star Wars, and maybe you could tell me if I've just missed something. But normally it's fighting, blowing up ships, lightsabers, but never a knife being thrown at somebody to stab them. I thought that was very, yes, we've cut off arms and things like that, but never, can you remember a time when they've thrown a knife? I was a little surprised.
No, I do know at one point in time in the script, there, Revenge of the Sith with Padme, when she comes out on Mustafar after Anakin is now Darth Vader and he and Obi-Wan are about to fight on the lava planet and Anakin chokes her. originally she had a knife. She was going to go kill Anakin because she didn't want him to go rule, like destroy the galaxy, and they took it out. But yeah, no, it's usually violence with a lightsaber, which is less violent in a way, maybe because it's like not real. And a knife is very real.
Yeah.
But I think the Clone Wars is pretty violent. I mean, they were chopping heads off left and right in that cartoon.
I hope they don't go down that route, because that's not what I want to see out of this.
So I feel like Mando, we talked about this on the round table a bit, of he's kind of stuck with who he's choosing to be. I think this whole series fundamentally is about identity and who do we choose to be. So much of Star Wars was choosing who you were based on where you came from. And that's really what this is, too. He was a foundling, and he was found into the Mandalorian people. We know that there's a lot of tension between different Mandos, and it's just him trying to find himself. And I think he regressed a bit at the beginning of this episode and went to his warrior ways, and it was very violent. Yeah, I times are different, though, now, too. I think violence is more acceptable on things than it used to be, but I agree.
But it's not Star Wars. I mean, it was fine. He would press his little bracelet, whatever you want to call it, and all the little rockets came out of it. Yeah. That's the violence.
Yep.
That's okay to me. That's what I was expecting to see from last year.
Yep.
I didn't see a knife. I mean, a knife is a whole different deal. I hope they don't go down that road on a regular basis.
I think I could be with you on that, actually.
Well, good. I'd like to have you with me.
Well, always. I agree. But I also think it said a lot to his character. I think that was the old Mando that we didn't know. That's who Mandalorian started before the series started. So, because then the next scene is pretty violent too. So we catch up with the Cyclops. He's like, hey, there's a Mandalorian on Tatooine. And so that's where you need to go. And then Mando like said he wasn't going to kill him if he gave him the information or whatever. And then turns out the light and all these little kitty cat monster things basically eat him alive. So it's pretty violent.
You knew that was coming, though. Yeah. He said, you would not die by my hand. Isn't that more or less what he said? Okay, you knew that was coming. Come on, that was so... Yeah, it was just...
Yeah. So, okay,
I knew right there he was going to die.
Yeah. So now we're off to Tatooine. I'm very excited about Tatooine. I love Tatooine. And who do we see? But Ellen Ripley, Pelimato, and I was very excited because we all know that I love Chapter 5 is probably my favorite episode from Season 1, and there she was.
Amy Sedaris.
Yes.
Okay.
She was so good. Like, I love that character, and I feel she was even better in this episode than she was in Season 5. Like, I felt the acting in Chapter 9 was so good. Like, everyone kind of knew what the show was now, so they found the rhythm. They were going. That opening scene, actually, in that fight club, felt so big. It felt way more expensive than any of the other episodes from last season. It was just very big. It looked expensive. And then we're about to go, like, full cinema here in a minute.
And
random. You felt it was random?
I was like, where is this? I don't know where this is from. I don't know what the connection is. I didn't put anything together. Okay,
well, I'm down. Yeah, it was. Made it feel like a big galaxy to me, and I was excited, and I forgot to bring this up on the live stream. So there was a character. So in the audience of the Fight Club thing, there was like this bald lady. She was blue, and she had like white painted on her face, and I feel she looked a lot like a Togruta, which is Ahsoka's species. She didn't have the head, the Luku or any of that stuff, so she wasn't a Togruta. But it looked really, really good. Because I've been curious how they're going to make Ahsoka look good. Because Shakti is the only Togruta we've ever seen in live action. And she was very scary looking. And Ahsoka can't be scary looking. She needs to be very kind looking. So it gave me a little bit of hope for that. It was a completely side note. So you should, everyone pause it on this little blue lady alien. Because she looks a lot like a Togruta and looks great. So I realized in that moment, I'm back in Star Wars. Because we land on Tatooine. And I already got emotional and teary-eyed when we see Peli. That was really exciting because I like that character a lot. And her pit droids come rushing out to work on the ship. And she's like, hey, he doesn't like your kind. And he's coming down the ramp. And he's like, oh, you might as well let them work on it. It's in pretty bad shape. And I was like, oh, he's grown so much from last season. And I got very emotional. And it just made me very happy. And I realized I was very connected to this character.
He didn't look like he's grown, did he?
Who, Baby Yoda? No, Din. Mando's like, go ahead and let the pit droids work on the ship.
Okay.
And we know he did not like droids. And when we last saw the pit droids, he didn't want them to touch the ship. So he's grown a lot. And then I just realized, oh my God, I've really connected to Mando. And I've connected to him so much because I do read that character is so queer-coded, and we're about to get into some gay space daddies here real soon. I was very excited on Friday. I'm still very excited. Mando's found himself a new boyfriend here in a minute. But Tom doesn't see it, I don't think. But I see the sparks of flame.
I'm listening.
So, okay. So, he's like, hey, there's this place called Mos Pelgo. I don't see it. And then we get this callback to episode 2 of Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan's looking for Kamino and they don't, like, the planet's disappeared. And that Jocasta knows, like, if the planet is not there, then it does not exist. And then Obi-Wan's like, but it does. My friend Dexter told me, and he runs a little, like, breakfast place. And I love that scene. Yoda talks about the wonders of a child because someone deleted it. So now there's this, there was another little line in there, too, about the Empire and how Tatooine went super lawless and Peli will not leave the city walls. So outside of the walls of a city, it's very dangerous on Tatooine because there's no power, which we're about to see. So she's like, hey, this is where this little city was. It was out there. It's not on the map, but I'm telling you, it was out there. And we saw R5-D4 roll up. That was very exciting. Tom didn't remember who R5-D4 was, though. Right?
No, I did not. No.
Yeah.
He looked like every other one.
He was an astromech droid, but he had a bad motivator.
But I do remember now that you mentioned it.
So that was exciting. So we're off, and we get another little moment with the Tusken Raiders, which is very cool because Mando and the Tusken Raiders, Tusken Raiders up until Chapter 5 of last season have only been seen as monsters. We had one moment where we felt bad for them because Anakin killed not just the men, but the women and the children. That was the only time we ever felt bad for the Tuskens because they've always been monsters. And now we're like, oh, they're just the indigenous people there who have been mistreated and had all their lands taken away, and they're just defending their homes. So that was cool to see, and we didn't know that was about to become a bigger part. So we find Mos Pelgo. And we enter a bar with a Weequay and was very excited because Weequays are awesome. We saw them in Jabba's palace, except for now with prosthetics and modern stuff. Like he could actually kind of talk and move, and he looked great. And we see that there is a marshal running the town. That was the name of this episode, was The Marshal. Chapter 9 was called The Marshal, and we see him. And did you recognize who it was right away?
In as far as the character, or did I recognize the
costume
actor from another show?
I didn't know who the actor was.
I knew I had seen,
but
the
I
actor
do now.
From somewhere else. But.
So we see Boba Fett, but it's not Boba Fett because that armor does not fit.
Faux Boba Fett.
Yeah. And he takes his helmet off, and there is a very sexy silver daddy, Cobb Vanth.
Lean. He was very lean, I thought.
Yes. I mean, he needs to eat. He needs a Ronto wrap from Galaxy's Edge. He needs a few of them, in my opinion.
I'm not even good at.
But guess what? Guess who he is? I know he's from other things, from Deadwood, some show I've never seen. But you know what was relevant to me?
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City, Valley of the 20-somethings. He was the young kid that was banging Carrie Bradshaw for a few episodes.
Really?
Yep.
You mean when she had fallen down the stairs?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so fun. Wow, I'll have to go back and look at that.
That's who I thought it was. Like, I was like, I know him from somewhere, and there he was, Valley of the 20-somethings from Sex in the City, one of my 3 S's that brought my husband to me now. It's all coming full circle, baby. So now we just need Cartman. We just need Cartman in Star Wars somewhere. Anyways, so all you straight people out there, straight men who did not watch Sex in the City, your Cobb Vanth that everyone's thinking how badass he is, was banging Carrie Bradshaw in Sex in the City. And all of us gay boys are like, yeah!
And she was the old woman.
Yes.
And he was the young kid.
Yep.
That's funny.
It's so crazy.
Wow.
So anyways, we see Cobb Vanth, and he takes his helmet off, so we know right away, like, he's not a Mandalorian. This show is so ingrained in our heads that you do not remove your helmet. And we're like, oh, shoot, something's off. And then the sparks started flying because all these people are, like, talking about are they going to kill each other? They were like impressed. They were into each other. Their little hearts were fluttering, and Cobb Vanth is sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is what a real Mandalorian looks like. He is sexy." And then the other guy's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you took your helmet off because that silver hair. Look how I take my helmet off and it's like a big matted mess and I'm bloody. You take your helmet off and it's like this perfect coif of oh God, he was so oh." Anyways, I was very excited, and the ground starts shaking, and I'm like, okay, Baby Yoda hides in a little pot, and we get our very first awesome super wide shot that felt very movie-like, and the camera pulls back. We get the black bars on top so we can have some 16:9 ratio like a film, and we see a crate dragon in live action. Never before have we seen a crate dragon, and it was awesome. You don't know what a crate dragon is, do you?
Well, I watched the show, but no.
So before that, in A New Hope, remember when the Tusken Raiders are going to attack Luke, and we hear Obi-Wan, and he makes that weird animal call, like, which has now been changed several times. Obi-Wan Kenobi makes the sound of a crate dragon to scare the Tusken Raiders away. Oh. But when the droids landed, when C-3PO and R2-D2 are there, you see a big skeleton. You remember in the sand dunes? Do you remember seeing the big skeleton? That's a crate dragon skeleton.
Oh.
So that's what they were. It was very exciting. So Cobb Vanth and Mando now are like, okay, well, Cobb's like, I'll give you the armor. Because Mando's like, take the armor off. You can't wear that. You're not a Mandalorian. You're disrespecting my people. And we get there's some heavy talk there about appropriation and representation this with the Tuskens later. Like there's some really good stuff, but we covered a lot of that in the live stream, so you can go listen to that last podcast or go to YouTube and listen to it. But I don't want to go into it again because that just came out 2 days ago. But it was pretty cool. Mando's like, hey, help me. Or Cobb was like, Mando, help me and I'll give you the armor. Right?
Yes.
So what happens next? Do you remember, Thomas?
I do. They, let's see, they team up as a group. Mando and Cobb Vanth.
Just call him Space Daddy.
Space Daddy, he gets his people together. Mm-hmm. Marshall. I'm going to call him Marshall.
The Marshall, okay.
The Marshall. They team up together, and then they go to the Sand People.
Yep. Their names? Okay. Because they want to kill the crate dragon, right?
Right. And
the Sand People want to kill them right away.
They're like, no. Those people killed a lot of our people in Marshall Land, but they, they're like, hey, Mando says if you want to do this, you need the help of the Sand People. They're used to the sand or whatever. So anyway, long story short.
No, it's beautiful because
yes.
No, hang on. All we saw of the Sand People were they were raiders and Tusken Raiders.
Yes.
And they're looters and they're monsters. And he's like, and I loved that the one person in that crowd that said they're monsters was the one alien. Like I was like, look at that. Even the aliens who are probably mistreated by the humans are even looking down upon the Tuskens. Like it was a really cool moment, actually.
Interesting. That's very interesting, actually. That could be a whole other show.
100%. Yeah. Like they're like the layers of racism and subtle racism and microaggressions and all that. Like it's really there's a lot of stuff here. Like there's a lot to chew on. Yes. But Mando's like they are those things. But they're defending themselves because you took it away from them and you forced them to live way out there. And they're just doing the best that they can do.
Yeah, that was actually
very thought-provoking. I thought it was really beautiful that for the first time in Star Wars, someone saw them as people. And then on a personal level, to have a queer character be like, no, these are just people. Because us queer people have learned to see everybody as people because we're all queer. And I love it. Like, it was just like this thing to me that I was like, thank you. A queer person can just see other people for who they are past all the other stuff because we have to. And I was very excited.
Okay, but you just called him a queer character. He's not a queer character.
I think he is.
Oh, okay.
And I'm telling you.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So
I wasn't sure if the casual fan missed something.
Okay, no, the sparks are flying. I think they are going to be boyfriends.
Okay, there's not that anything's wrong with that.
I hope not. Anyway, I think so. Okay, so we go and take down the crate dragon, right?
You know what I will say? I think they're going to be friends. I think they work to a place where they are friends, and he does need a friend.
More than that.
Okay. Because, Gina can't be a friend anymore.
No. She better die this season.
Thanks a lot, Gina.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel. I'm still working through it. I want to like Cara Dune because I really liked that character before.
Yeah, actually, I did.
So I personally, and I do not think there is one way, a right way or a wrong way to handle it. I'm going to try my best to continue to like Cara Dune and try to not see the actor behind it. And I'm just going to see the mask.
Gina.
Stupid Betty.
Stupid Betty?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because we don't curse on the show.
No. That one Hope's
That's
not here.
the nighttime one.
So basically the premise of the show is we now have to take down this crate dragon, right? So the people of Mos Pelgo can be safe. The Tuskens have been in danger because this great dragon destroys lots of things because it too is trying to protect its home, which is like interesting that we recognize that the Tuskens are there but we're villainizing this monster and there's something there too, but we can only break down so much. But what I liked, and this is where they're more than just friends, dude. So we met Pelimato, right? Already last season.
Right.
Who, when Mando's still trying to learn how to be a dad because we are introduced in this episode with Baby Yoda in a fight club. And he's like, this is no place for a kid. And he's like, hey, where he goes, I go. So you could read that as, I'm just not a very good parent, or I know there's worse things out there trying to get at this child, so I have to take him here because I have to protect him. But last season in Chapter 5, we saw Mando leave Baby Yoda with Peli. And they're friends. Like, he hooked her up, gave her some money, they established a relationship, he hid a dead body for her, or she hid a dead body for him, and it was like, hey, we're good now, right? They were homies. And she offered to watch the baby again. He was like, no. The armor tasked me with keeping him safe. We are now a clan of 2. So even his friend, who is already established to have a relationship with that he trusted at one point in time to watch the child, would not let her watch it now. So that said something about him and how he has grown, right? Mm-hmm. So this dude that you just met is more than just a buddy. Because his good friend over there was like, no, you can't watch her. But he was like, I see how I'm going to stop this great dragon. I might die. You have to protect the child.
Oh.
Because I love you and you're my new boyfriend and we're going to be married and we're going to adopt more babies and we're going to go save the galaxy together as boyfriend and boyfriend.
Well, no
and then we'll get married.
Like, hey, too soon. Too soon. The look on his face was like, too soon. Too soon.
I'm not all the way out
God,
yet.
It's like the guy who didn't go home from the night before.
Hey, Din, I understand that you get to travel the galaxy and you see all of this open-mindedness outside of you. I live in a small town. I can't come out right now because they won't like me. This is free town for everyone but the homos. So I got to stay in the closet. But I see you. And yes, I love you too. And we're going to kiss. And so then they fly
I am going to make them call me Marshall.
But they're flying around and so then Din Djarin's like, hey, eat me, and then he he was like, crate dragon, eat me, and then after I take a shower you can eat me too, Cobb. It just disgusted my brother.
I'm just mortified.
He was like, I will put that Cobb on a stick and I'll eat you up, my friend. Anyways, I'm going to get in trouble. This is not Pink Milk After Dark. This is our morning show, so I need to stop the conversation before I get in trouble.
All right, let's get back to the story.
So, anyway, the crate dragon dies, right?
Yes.
They blow him up, and he's like, well, I guess I got to go. I hope I see you soon. And he's like, and then Din's like, I do too.
Bye-bye.
Come on. There was a shot on the speeder bikes and Cobb is looking at Din. There are sparks a-flying. You got nothing out of this? You got no sparks?
I mean, I see what you're saying. I don't in any way, shape, or form think that is what's going on.
Why?
But I know that you do, so I support you.
How do you not see it? It's right there.
Because it's Disney.
But this is Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Okay. Hey, all right.
It's my first ship, and I'm here for it.
That's
okay.
right.
Anyways,
I agree 100%.
they are going to be boyfriends. Raising Baby Yoda together.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Said it here first.
There you go. Hey, I want what you want, hon.
Okay. So we go away, and the camera pans back. Din gets the armor back, which I think Cobb Vanth is going to take it away. Cobb Vanth is going to be a much bigger character in the season, I believe, judged by who we are about to see at the end. So the camera, he goes on his motorcycle. The camera pans back. We see a dude standing there with some stuff. Did you know who that was before I told you?
The bald guy?
Yeah.
No.
That's Boba Fett. So that's Tamora Morrison,
well, now I know.
who played Jango Fett.
The thing is this, he's not really Boba Fett anymore. He took his helmet off.
Boba Fett was never a Mandalorian. George Lucas made it very clear that Jango and Boba were not Mandalorians. They wore Mandalorian armor, but they were not.
I did not know.
But the last we saw Boba Fett, he was spit down to the old Sarlacc pit where he was going to slowly be digested over 1,000 years.
Oh.
In Return of the Jedi.
That's the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay. That's when Princess Leia killed
Jabba the Hutt. Yep. So now he's out. So we don't know. We don't know a lot about Boba Fett. We knew there was, I think, 2, maybe 3 arcs in the Clone Wars when Boba Fett was still a kid where he joined Aurra Sing and joined some bounty hunters. There was an episode where he invaded, he's infiltrated a Republic ship as a cadet and was trying to kill Mace Windu for killing his father. And it was all really cool. Like, they did some cool stuff with the character, but we don't know anything about him as an adult. And Boba Fett has a massive following. People love him. But he doesn't really do a lot. I mean, I'm looking at a gigantic 10-inch Funko Pop of Boba Fett. I like him a lot, too. The armor's awesome. I'm like, most of us little 80s kids loved him because he looked rad.
But he was bad, though.
He was bad. He's no disintegrations. He was the bounty hunter who caught Han Solo and brought him to Jabba the Hutt. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to get some layers there of who he is. And again, I think there's going to be a lot of conversation about the show's about identity, and he's got to serve Din somehow. And there's going to be a lot of talk of who a Mandalorian is. And then we also have a new layer to Boba Fett that he's a clone. And what does it mean to be a clone? Which, after watching the Clone Wars, you saw enough Clone Wars episodes where there's a lot of issues amongst the clones of feeling worthy of being a human, right? So I'm really excited to have that possibly come into play here. And now we're going to have who gets to wear the armor, Cobb or Boba.
That's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah.
What?
Who gets to wear the armor now.
Yep. So... And now it's in Din's position because Din feels like he deserves it because Din Djarin is a Mandalorian. And now we have Cobb Vanth, who has worn it, who is not a Mandalorian. Boba Fett, who has worn it, who is not a Mandalorian. And who's it going to belong to? Because Din Djarin has never worn it. He was never Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. Cobb Vanth, I don't think knew who Boba Fett was. Like, I didn't get that read. But he wore this armor and he was the Marshal. I think there's some really cool stuff that we're about to get into. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any thoughts on the episode? Did you enjoy the episode? You said you have thoughts, so here we go.
I've been over here pulling a hope, getting all excited in my seat, trying to share with you what my thoughts are. And I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed.
Okay.
Well, let's think about it for a minute. We had a season finale last year that was pretty awesome, where, the casual fan was introduced 2 or 3 episodes, I can't remember how many episodes, to this madman, crazy guy, Moff Gideon.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
All right, 2 episodes, but I mean, it was a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had this cliffhanger, more or less, at the end, so I was expecting to pick up where we left off. Mm-hmm. But instead, we had the usual, like
a side
episode.
adventure.
I have no idea what this is about, what this is all, and that's continuously how I felt all last season. What the hell is this about? Okay, this is great. All right, Star Wars. It's got to be great. It's got to mean something. And it all came together in the end. All the people pulled together. So I now know the MO is going to be, okay, here we are. We'll see you in another episode kind of deal, a couple episodes down. But yeah, no, I was a little disappointed. Was it good? Yeah, sure. but I was a little disappointed. I wanted to pick up where we left off. What's going on? Y'all talked about for the last 10 months about this glowing lightsaber or super saber, whatever it's called. And now we didn't. The casual fan has no idea. Now I will have forgotten about the whole thing by the time it comes back. So, quite frankly, I was expecting to pick up where we left off. So, in that sense, I was a little disappointed.
Okay. So, and you have something that I don't have because you know that actor from Breaking Bad. You really liked Breaking Bad a lot.
And he was a evil character, but the truth of the matter is he was a really well done, good character because he was a clean cut guy. He had legit businesses. He just sold cocaine or whatever it's called.
I never saw the show.
Drugs.
So I don't know much about the actor. I know that you were really excited. I saw the internet was ablaze when he was in it, but I don't. All I know him as is Moffin Top Gideon. Right. And so I don't know a lot about. I thought Moffin Top Gideon was pretty cool.
Come on, he was cutting his way out of a spaceship that fell out of the sky.
It was awesome.
And now it's whoa. Are we supposed to have forgotten about that?
So would you, because there was an Entertainment Weekly article that came out that said Disney and Lucasfilm are butting heads on how to proceed with The Mandalorian in season 2.
Okay.
Disney wanted more one-and-done episodes, basically, where they're like little installments, and it doesn't matter what comes before or after, right?
Okay.
Now, there were looser threads that tied the whole season together, but for the most part, it was one adventure at a time episode, right? And Lucasfilm wanted to tell a more linear story where things were connected, which is more how the Clone Wars was. There was a few episodes that were deemed filler at the time, but because it's Dave Filoni, nothing, like you just said, nothing really is filler. It all comes together. But in Clone Wars, there would be arcs. So what would you prefer? Because I know as a super fan, I want the biggest story possible. But I think
I want a linear story. I don't mind some introductions here and there. I understand that because that's important because that's how you build a story. I'm just not sure I wanted the first one out. Again, I know it means something and I have to just, stay tuned. However, that's not what I wanted. Let's pick up from where we left off. Okay. Remember, we just, we didn't see, oh God, what's his name?
Grief Karga?
Grief.
Carl Weathers?
Yeah, Carl Weathers. We didn't see him, so now we didn't see him. We last left with him, and we didn't see Gina. And Cara Dune are together.
Okay. Who she may be becoming a bounty hunter, right?
We had just lost IG-88, right?
IG-11. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one. So, we had some big stuff happen at the end of the season finale, and it's like, And the last I remember seeing Mando was
and the armor. We don't know where she went.
The child and blasting off into the sky. But then you did remind me that they were in their ship somewhere. So
yeah, he flew away, and then
you would think the 9 or 25,000 times you made me watch that episode, I would remember, but
you didn't.
I didn't.
In one ear and out the other. No, so okay, so
not this time.
Before we go to break, where we talk about being real gay dads in real life. Do you feel that you, Tom, not as casual fan Tom, but as Tom, are you watching the show differently after 1, a year of podcasting, and 2, 4 weeks of queer roundtable discussion about the show?
Well, Brian, I'd be more than happy to answer that question after the break.
Oh, after the break. All right. We'll see you in a second. Drink up. And we're back.
We're back.
Oh, God, what was her name? Carolina?
Caroline.
Caroline? Caroline! I felt that she's in my sweater. Smell my sweater.
The light, Caroline.
Smell my sweater. She's in my sweater. Oh, baby, my baby's home. My baby's home. I think that's the line. Anyways.
You know, I remember as a kid seeing... This is how crazy, and I always knew I was into real estate. I remember seeing that movie as a kid, and I know you had all these crazy things about poltergeists, but I was like, wow, this is cool. Look at that cookie cutter development.
I just want to live in a master plan community.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wanted to live in a master plan community, and then all these years later,
here we are. We're in one.
25 years of selling real estate. I'm like, wow, here's another master plan community.
And now we're living in one and afraid to put a pool in the back because our TV mysteriously turns on all the time in the middle of the night. We're back.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Poor girl. I think she passed away, right? Of the flu?
She did.
It's terrible.
Well, okay, we're going to spin it positive. This is going to sound shallow now after a poor young girl died.
Well, her sister died too, but we didn't say anything.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is not a true
like the
crime.
Grim Reaper.
This is not a true crime podcast, Tom.
Well, one
anyways,
was a murder and the other one was just...
Oh my God. Okay, we are moving past this, moving on. While we were on break, speaking of real estate, my sexy husband is out there making deals and closing deals and bringing in the bacon.
Boom.
It's sizzling right now on the stovetop.
I haven't even put that property on the market, and I called and found an investor, so
Boom.
Feeling good.
Good for you, Daddy Patty. But right now, we ain't talking real estate. We ain't talking poltergeist. We ain't talking murder. We ain't talking death. We talking Star Wars. Before break, I said, are you watching season 2, one chapter, differently of The Mandalorian than you did last year when we were just baby podcasters and just starting, and now you've had 1 year of podcasting, 4 weeks of quite intense roundtable discussions specifically regarding The Mandalorian. Are you watching it differently now?
Yes.
Well, show thanks.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Well, yes, because now I have to be accountable and I have to respond to questions. So I have to pay attention a little bit. I like to do the multiple watches. So the first one I watch is the casual fan. The second one I watch, usually when I'm tired and my husband is saying, you better pay attention.
And he fell asleep.
That's the time I'm on the couch, like pretending I'm taking notes.
He fell asleep this week. He fell asleep. I wasn't going to see the bus, but the bus, it's 5 o'clock. The bus is coming after work to pick everybody up, to take them home.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes. And I was taking it in osmosively. If I said that word correctly. Yeah, no. Do I look at it differently? Yes, I do. I mean, honestly, I have to sit here and talk about it, so of course I'm going to... All right, Brian's going to say something.
No, I just have to say that I'm resting my eyes. I remember my little 4.5, 5-year-old Michael when he was falling asleep on the couch at like 7 because he was little. He was like, I'm not sleeping, I'm just resting my eyes.
Well, now we understand.
Okay, so you are watching it differently.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, especially, over the last year, we have been very much gifted with meeting a lot of new people that have come into our lives. And at first, I thought you were the only crazy one out there really reading into everything regarding this little movie called Star Wars. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a guy in a black cape and a kid in a white costume, and they're fighting each other. Now they're related. But now, it turns out that everything means something, and God forbid you forget anything at all, because that was the thing that was important. But yeah, I kid. I respect it. No, seriously, meeting all these people, and everybody has so many deep thoughts, and now we've fruitioned into, this whole gay thing that you keep talking about with regards to
this gay thing. Disgusting.
It's not.
It's
disgusting.
wrong.
It's not wrong at all. But I'm just saying everything means more, so I have to, pay attention a little bit more. So the answer is yes. I'm looking at it differently.
Thomas.
And yes,
you're a steward of the rainbow.
Yes, just call me Steward Rainbow. But yeah. For sure, I pay attention a lot more now, and I see things.
No, that's awesome.
Sometimes I hear things come out of my mouth, and I'm like, wow, look at you.
Ooh, when I get so smart.
Don't tarnish my crown. You are casual.
I wear this casual crown proudly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes. I think, no, honestly, that's
Yes.
awesome.
So the answer is yes, I do. I pay attention a lot more.
Very good. Very good. I'm looking forward to those
Now, there
notes
was a
next
second
week.
part of that question, right?
No.
Oh.
So, but what I want to talk about on this back half of the episode is, like I said, these are boyfriends. Din Djarin fell in love with Cobb Vanth right there on the spot. I mean, honestly, when you walked into the bar the very first time I saw you, you stole my heart away, and I was in love with you immediately. And look, here we are later, just like this. Just
a year later? Did you say a year later?
I think I did. It's been a long year.
It's 13.
I think it did. Well, we've adopted 3 children. We moved countless times. We've gotten more silver daddy-like. A lot's happened in just this one short little year. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Anyways, no, we were. I'm telling you, the fact that Din said "take care of the child" like means so. There is so much implication there, just based on just. I'm gonna sound like Emma from Pink Milk After Dark. It's in the text. It's in the text. It's right there in the film. They does not trust anyone anymore. It's in the text, so we know it means something. Yeah. So, anyways, I want to talk about.
And that does piggyback on what I just said. What I've learned over the last year and the gifted guests that we've been able to spend time with and listen to and meet and become friends with. Everything, you're right. I do feel that way. I feel that everything means something. So, I definitely say to myself, Tom, pay attention. Pay attention.
I mean, honestly,
It's going to be a test.
Really great, amazing Star Wars storytelling does appear very simple on the surface, but underneath it is very, very, very complex. That's how I like my Star Wars. I don't want it too complicated on the surface. I don't like it that way. I like it buried. Because I think Star Wars, a lot of it examines a mask, just like this. Mandalorian's very much about a mask. When Mando, who will inevitably take that helmet off, it's going to be big. It's going to mean something. There's so much about wearing a mask that we can see ourselves in these characters so much. I think if Din Djarin was running around without a helmet and without shiny Beskar that also changed and did those things and had an out-and-out romance with Omera from Chapter 4, it would lose the ability to be very queer-coded for me. But honestly, I'm very excited because I believe very much that was very intentional, at least on the actor's part, of being, and knowing Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I think they're less afraid to push agendas and things. Agenda sounds, I shouldn't have said agenda, but they aren't afraid to push the boundaries. Like, I think they're queer. I think the show is very queer. I think those characters were played to be more than just friends. Because if it was not for the line of "take care of the child," I would have been playful, thinking it was something. But that means too much. He didn't pick a woman. It wasn't Pelly. It wasn't Omera who offered to stay and raise the child too. She also offered to raise the child, and he wouldn't do it. But it was that dude over there that he said yes to, and I just think it means something. So,
okay,
with that. Our little space daddies are in for a rude awakening of being queer and raising children because it's very different and it's hard sometimes. And that's the other, like, the show gave me that. It gave me 2 guys who are going to raise their own adopted child. And that is us. That is our story. I'm, the silver daddy and you're the sexy young one.
There you go. Even though I'm older, I'm going to agree with everything you say because...
Why not?
You're right. Well, here's the thing. So, number one, yes, I was raised in the traditional sense with a mom, female, dad, male. That said, it's the only parenting I know. So to me, I don't feel it's different. And I know we have these discussions all the time. I literally do not think of it differently. I don't see you as the mom or me as the mom, and our kids have 2 dads. And it's what we have always said. This is the family that we created, all 5 of us. in a lot of ways very equally. We're just more time on this planet.
Yep.
So I don't think of us as different than the people next door. I actually think the people next door are different. That's what I think. I don't feel, because this is all I know. And I think that this is great. And I think every single day how fortunate and lucky I am. And I actually also think how fortunate and lucky they are next door, that they get to live next to me and my family, because I think that we are such a great family. And I don't want to mix conceit here. It's not a question of any of that. It's just not at all. I'm not being that. I'm not better than them. We're all equals, but I think that they're lucky to live next to me because of all the wonderful things that we give and are to our family and to our neighborhood and to our friends, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I agree, because I think you're really fantastic, and you are.
Well,
You're
I
a
agree,
gift to
but
everybody.
this is how in tongue-in-cheek, playfully, yes, I say that. But nonetheless, I really, truly believe that everyone is lucky to be next to us. What a wonderful role, if you look at the profile of our family, how great. Truthfully, how great.
I do believe, and this is something that actually Em and I think we're gonna figure out how to talk about this on a live stream, because parenting is woven into the story of the Mandalorian. He's a single father roaming the galaxy. He was someone who didn't choose to be a parent. It wasn't a natural born child that he made. It was a foundling. He too was adopted. Like the whole show is written about being adopted and finding a family. That's what the show is about. It's about identity and how you come into your own from those circumstances. And that is our family. I mean, that is our family as gay men, and redefining how we have to enter society when we're coming out, because it is not the same. We've been out for most of our lives, you and I, so that's normal life to us now, but coming out is hard because it is not the same anymore. Nothing is the same anymore. And it's not better or worse, but it is different, and Mando is going through that. And I'm curious how I see the opening of this episode with the violence, and he's going back to who he was. That's where he's comfortable, and he's not comfortable in this new role of being a parent. And I know it was weird that first night when Jack came. It was weird. There was this little 7-year-old person, and all of a sudden they were in our house.
But isn't it, and wasn't it, a better, well, let me rephrase that. How cool was that? Because quite frankly, a heterosexual couple who has who, let's assume they're married. Okay, so, all of a sudden they have a child, and they bring home, and they're like, oh my God, it's much smaller, number one. Number two, there's so many more things that could go wrong in that first block of time. I'm sure they feel that it's just as different, just as weird.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Just as foreign, I guess.
I think something
So how great was it for us that at least this person could walk and talk and
not to
poop
give
in their pants?
yeah. Not to give too much of the story away. We brought up Blue Bantha Milk Co. earlier. I'm working on a project now. We announced it on that live stream, so I can say it now. But where Sean, who is going to be soon to be a father, is starting to look at Star Wars differently. And so he and I are doing a video essay about The Mandalorian and fatherhood. And something that I have been pondering more so since this idea of working together has come up for this collaboration is I don't know, and this is where I want to talk about with Emma, who has a child as well. She's also a queer parent, but they had their child since birth. And we don't. And I'm curious what that's like to look at a little life without a history. And their whole life is only going to be with you. We had children come in with a history. And when I looked into those eyes, there was history there, and there was a life there. And that, to me, is where feeling we found each other. And we all created a family together because we were all lost little souls, lost little foundlings in the world when we came together. And I think there's something, I guess I can't speak for all gay men, but I do think for us, there's an appreciation that I'm not saying isn't there for other parents, but this was not supposed to happen to for us.
I agree.
And we had to really work for it. And Mando right now is working to learn how to be a father. Sure, it's dressed up like Star Wars, so he's throwing knives and he's got rocket launchers and fire, flamethrowers and stuff, but he's learning how to be a father.
Well, how many times do let's face it, when you have 3 kids that, number one, they're boys, so they're busy. Thank God. I don't want them to not be busy. I want them to be busy. I want them to be boys. 3 kids between the ages of 6 and 10. I mean, some of those days where we're at our wits' end. And let's face it, your parents, you have them. You're working, you've got a lot going on, COVID, crazy, 2020, But there's never a time in the midst of all that I don't think to myself, oh my God, I am so incredibly lucky to have this. And I don't know, and I can't speak for a heterosexual couple, but when I listen to the ones that I've observed over my lifetime, and 50 years is a long time, I don't know that they necessarily have the same appreciation.
Not
I don't
in the same
know.
way.
I just don't know. I think maybe some that have had such a difficult time maybe having children, they may be the closest to my perceiving the appreciation that we have. But the truth of the matter is we do chuckle to ourselves, especially when we're like, oh God, what a tough day. But wow, how great we have the opportunity to have.
Thank God we had this tough day.
Exactly. Thank God. We also, one of the things we always say to ourselves, and I think it bears just saying out loud, we don't remember. I mean, we were together 9 years, in not quite a full 9 years, but actually it was just over 9 years. Yeah. Before we ever had kids. And we don't even really remember. I mean, it's the core, it's the foundation of our relationship, the absolute foundation. But I don't even really remember life without them. And, Nope. Yeah, it's just amazing. So
yeah, it's like life's it's what is there AD and BC, BC and AD, or BCE and A something, or I don't remember what they're calling it now. But there's pre-Jack and post-Jack, and I don't remember much of life before Jack, honestly. And ever since Jack came in, we were building a family together, and that's the life I remember. Everything else seems so distant.
Now, much like probably a heterosexual couple, we didn't know where it was going, where the family was going. We didn't know if we would just have one. We actually just thought we would have one.
Yep.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
And then we're like, oh, he needs a sibling.
We'll get it.
And then a sibling came.
If we could do this, yeah.
And then we're like, they need a sibling.
Yes.
And thank God, because then Cream came in, and he's been the cream that's held this whole sandwich together.
Yeah. And even though he was in between their ages, he truthfully... He just lived, and I mean, I always said, hey, let's just keep going 4, 5, 6, But you just, in this particular scenario, we knew. There was no question. Okay, this is just a perfect
Eli is our middle child, but he was the last child to come in, and we call him Cream, because he's the one who, honest to God, holds this little sandwich together.
Cookies together.
Yep, 100%, and I feel very fortunate. But I think we had mentioned at the beginning of this episode of Chapter 9, we meet the John Leguizamo, the Cyclops, I forget what his name is. And Baby Yoda is in danger because of his father. Because his father is queer, and he's wearing his gayness out in the open with his shiny Beskar armor. And if we take that, which we've been talking about, which I see as a metaphor for being gay... They want to take the Mando down because of who he is, and they want to strip him of his armor to turn around and sell it. But I feel sometimes, and we've mentioned it, we've talked about it on the roundtables, our children are now a part of the LGBTQ plus community, regardless who they choose to love later in life. They are in it by virtue of us.
Or who they will love.
Yes. Yeah. Who they will love. Yeah. But they're in it regardless because of us. And, there are situations sometimes that we have to struggle with as gay parents that soon Din and Cobb are going to have to deal with, being 2 Mandalorians running around the galaxy, loving each other and saving babies and fighting off people who do not want Mandalorians to exist anymore. And I'm not saying in life it needs to be taken that like people don't want gays to exist anymore, but we have a situation in our neighborhood right now that's been difficult for Tom and I to navigate, because we are trying our best to not put our own fear, our own insecurities, our own histories into this situation regarding our children, but it's happening. Mm-hmm. And history also led us to this conclusion. But, you know, it's been difficult. Our children are our friends.
So we're discussing this?
Yeah.
Okay. So am I supposed to say what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, the long and the short of it is some close friends. We have 3 sons. There are 2 other families here that they're very close to with their sons, and both of those families have one has 2 female sisters, one has 1 female sister. So anyway, there's the perfect amount of mix. There's a lot of boys running around, but one neighbor who geographically lives closer to us than the other neighbor who only just lives across the park, they won't allow their children in our house. Now, mind you,
but they can come into other people's houses.
Right. We have the on good report that they've been in other people's homes. Now, that said, they do seem like a very stringent group, and that's fine. I'm not even critiquing their parent style. And at first, we've been here longer than them, but they're only 1 year behind us. So at first, we're like, okay, all right, that's a little weird, but I respect your parenting style. Who am I to say anything other?
Yeah, because I'm sure
we've been here, and our children we allow into their home. And to be honest with you, it's become more of a problem now because their kids are constantly knocking at the door, and they're robbing their own children from coming in our house because all the rest of the neighborhood kids. Yeah. So the long and the short of it is, what's up with that? At this point in time, I don't want to critique your parenting style. I'm just saying, hey, you're robbing your children, and now you've created doubt in my head that's bringing back ghosts from my past thinking, wait, do you have a problem with the gay thing? Because if you do, screw you, number one. Yep. And number 2, then I have a problem letting my children go into your environment. That I'm not comfortable with. If you are a bigoted house, today would be the gay thing. Tomorrow it would be because we are interracial family. That would be the next thing. Yep. And the next thing, it would, we're not a black African-American family, but the next thing they'll be, if an African-American family moved in next to them, they wouldn't like that either. And that's not, as a matter of fact, hang on a second, they did just move in around the, they literally are the newest neighbors down the block. So, I mean, that's not okay. Now you're going to be, so again, we have been writing the story and there is no clarity.
But to... Part of how we wrote this story is, one, that's just life. That's just life as a gay person. It's true. It's very true. Unfortunately, especially being gay men our age, that flag is kind of always raised up. You're always a little bit cautious. But with that said, we had brought up, I don't know, a few months ago that one of our kids came home and was using, Jack, you're so gay, as in a gay slur. He learned it from one of those 2 kids in that house. I'm not attacking the kids for saying those things. I understand this is how kids learn. So I have never been and will not be mad at the children for saying those things because they hear it. So it's up to parents later to help correct those things. But I've had conversation with the husband, and they seem like a nice enough family on the surface.
And they do.
But he's told me before, well, I had to send our son, who's friends with our oldest son, to their grandfather's to chop some wood. I'm going to make a man out of him yet. I was like, oh, the kid's really into football. He's going to be, how far is he going to go? Well, not that far. He's not man enough for football. Like, it's just this hyper toxic masculinity stuff that I'm like, oh my God. And it's all these little things that are starting to paint this picture of, there was a party on Halloween. It was for the church friends. The minute the church group left, they would let our child in. And my mind goes to, oh my God, we can't let the gay kid in the house because he might say that he has 2 dads because I'm with all my church people and I don't want my church people to think I live that near the hellfire and brimstone house, and I can't let that little hell spring into my house while the church people are here. But once they're gone, I can let them in. It's just, and that is probably me and my own personal thing.
And that's true because the story I recounted was really based on facts. And the story that you just recounted is really based on your perception of how the world is and what you just inserted into what happened. But the first part of it that I was saying about those are all facts. So the thing is, it comes down to your lens. right?
And it's hard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the worldview that was created. I helped create it, but it's the world that I now see the world through. And it's unfortunate. And so this is where it's very, very, very difficult being a queer parent. Because now I'm like, do I not let my child...
Because you have to add that layer onto all your thoughts.
Yes, and that's not fair to my child.
No, it's not.
Who just wants to go to their friend's house.
Correct.
But, you know, this all kind of sparked to, not only from that party, but they had sent a picture where all the kids in the neighborhood are having such a good time in their house. And we're just like, you know what? We don't get that opportunity. You are building memories with my child that you're not allowing me to build.
And I'm glad... Especially after what I just said, and I turned it back on the lens to you. But I'm glad you're bringing that up, because the truth of the matter is you got the picture and I didn't get the picture, and I was really the one mad about it, because I'm like, wait a minute, you're taking from me because you won't allow your children in my house. And again, you know what? It's not like I need 2 more kids in my house. But we have tons of kids coming in and out of the house. However, what's happening is you're robbing your kid from coming in my house, and you're now disrupting my kids having their friends in our house, and you're trying to pull them out, and it's just not fair to anybody around.
No, there's no memories being established here.
I feel, in my nicest New Jersey attitude, I should go on over there, sprinkle with Arizona, and just be, what's up with that? You know, I'm feeling bad for your kids now, and you're making me feel uncomfortable that I'm even, and kind of maybe taking me for a fool, which I'm not, but you're making me feel that way, that I'm even allowing you to be gifted with having my own children in your house.
Yep.
And again, why would I not want them there? You live a couple of doors down. So
it's like we were talking about on the round tables. There is this internal homophobia. For some reason, I deserve to not have children allowed in my house, because of course we're gay, and you know, all the stereotypical stuff that people like to throw on gay people of why we're horrible people. That is just simply not true. I'm willing to accept that.
Well, you know,
I have to be okay with you
Some
not
are
like
horrible people.
Well, they are.
Just like heterosexuals, and just like maybe African American and Chinese. We're everything. You got lots of awful
There's a lot of
horrible
human beings, but there's a lot better human beings than there are bad ones. And for some reason, especially right now, let's talk about the lens in the world right now. The whole Black Lives Matter movement that's happening is so incredibly important. There are bad things associated with that too. And I see way too many white people here. Well, if they didn't have to act like this, and if they didn't have to do it, you were talking about the 1 or 2 people. Mm-hmm. And you're letting that 1 or 2 people spoil the thousands of voices out there behind it. So you, my friend, that is your quiet, subtle racism talking right now, that you can't confront yourself in the mirror. And it makes me so angry, because that is what is happening. Mm-hmm. That is what I have had to hear. That, well, if gay people didn't have to make out down the street, I kissed my husband goodbye as he was pulling away on the thing. Well, if you didn't have to hold hands, you're going to say this to me while you're holding your wife's hand?
Teenagers usually make out the park.
Exactly.
It's all good. It's just part of life.
Exactly. But it's all of those things.
Look the other way.
But we're, Tom and I have been talking. Yes, it's been stewing for a few days. But I too am starting to feel like a fool. Like, why am I okay with you disliking me because I'm gay? And which I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but right now I'm feeling like you are not letting your children in my house because I'm gay. And God forbid I turn your children into little gay babies or something with my magic gay voodoo sparkle dust or whatever exists in this house. But I'm going to let mine and yours. I'm going to let that subtle homophobia, bigotry start sprinkling on my children's heads. Really? You think I'm going to go there? Like, I don't, but this is what's so hard, because I, Bryan, have an inability to, I can't see this differently now. I've worked myself into this swirl.
It's an interesting thing, because if we put up with it much longer than we have shown our children that we will tolerate that.
We can get stepped on.
Exactly. And that's, you know what? We are still 2 guys. We're
you
not
ain't
putting
stepping
up
on
with
me.
it. It's just who we are. We're not going to put up with it.
Yep.
Maybe 2 other guys would. I don't know, but it's not us.
I have never been a person in my entire life that has ever backed down to anybody. I will risk it all before I will back down. That's just who I am. I am a fighter, and that's why I'm here. The reason I'm married and the reason I have children is because I fought for it when it was not cool and it was not safe to fight for. But I went and got in people's faces, and I fought for what I wanted because it was the right thing to do. And now here I am struggling because I don't want my fight to affect my child and his friendship with the kids. And it's not the kids' fault. I'm not blaming the kids. And I guess I'm not blaming the parents yet because I don't know for sure, but I know what my emotions are telling me, and I know I can see the dots out there, and I have experienced this way too many times in my life. I pretty much know where these dots are leading.
And that's why in this particular case, I think just asking it, since it's been an extended amount of time and coming from more of a place of contribution, as if though I don't think it's fair to your kids because everybody else in the neighborhood is in playing in the loft, and you're taking away from, because they don't want to come down and play with your kid. So that's part of this too. I'm starting to feel, hey, feel bad for your kid. I've got to now relay the message back, which I don't have to. Maybe I shouldn't as a parent even care.
Well, the other kids are going to resent them
because the kids
too.
don't want to go out and play with your kid now because they're the odd one out. So what's up with that, right?
Yep.
What's up with that? That's all I got.
You know, like,
I don't want to critique their parenting because I certainly don't want somebody to do that to me.
I'll critique your bigotry,
But
though.
maybe, well then, and unfortunately for them, that's where we feel it's coming from. All the signs point to that, and a few other things that we haven't mentioned.
Yep.
But it points to that.
Yep.
So.
But it's the Mando's got to go through that now, and that's something I'm seeing in this episode of like Mando by virtue of being a Mandalorian in the world right now at this time in the Star Wars galaxy is not okay to be a Mandalorian out and proud. He chose to bring himself out. We saw his entire group of people slaughtered because of his choices to come out. Mm-hmm. And now his child is being threatened because he chose to come out. And we're in that right now in everyday life. And it's so much more to this idea that what happens in a galaxy far, far away happens in our galaxy right now. 2 doors down from maybe where you live right now in your house. I don't know. It's very real and it's hard. It's really difficult because we don't want to be those parents that put ourselves before our children. My children come first. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like you said, what am I teaching them? What am I teaching them?
That's the thing as a parent. Everything means something. It's kind of like Star Wars. Yeah. We got to pay attention.
We got to pay attention. Yeah, anyways, it's important stuff. So hopefully take the time to think about those people in your neighborhood that might not be exactly like you, and hope that you go out of your way to make them feel comfortable, because it is more difficult for us sometimes, because if that's reality or not, society led us down this road, and it's very easy for us to start coming up with those stories because of our own experience, and it's hard.
And maybe we'll have an update for you if and when we speak with them.
Yeah. If we're not here next week, it's because we got arrested because they're bigots, and I got myself in trouble, and I went into a fist fight.
And I wouldn't have had to work the equipment, so there'll be no show.
Anyways, with that, Thomas, do you know where they can find us?
I know that you're going to tell them.
Oh, yes. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at servingpinkmilk. You can go to our website, servingpinkmilk.com. Please make sure to visit us at YouTube. We're just a baby little channel. We're growing. So I'd really appreciate if you went over to YouTube and typed in Pink Milk Podcast, found our beautiful little pink logo, hit like and subscribe on our videos, subscribe to the channel. Tune in with us on Friday nights, because honestly, we've had people coming to visit, and we chit chat with those watching. It's a lot of fun, and then we put that podcast up on Mondays. You can hear Tom and I talk on Wednesdays, and go to Apple Podcasts, give us a written review and a 5-star review, because honestly, queer voices need to get out there, and the only way they're going to get out there is if you subscribe to YouTube, you subscribe to our podcast, because it helps get our voices into other Star Wars listeners' ears and on their YouTube channel. So we really need you to do it.
And tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends about us. Share, retweet our tweets. Send us an email at servingpinkmilk@gmail.com.
And you never know, we may read it on air.
Yes. We get more nice notes, which are always wonderful to read, but less questions. So bring us your questions.
Yes.
Until, I guess I'll see you on Friday. Tom will talk at you next Wednesday. And until then, enjoy Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, and come visit us on Pink Milk After Dark, where we're going to talk about it just hours after we see it.
Drink up.
Drink up.
Drink up.
Bye.